Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jeremy Codes back with another Roblox coding video. Today we're doing some more Slime Wars. Surprise, surprise! Only video on the channel so far. It's a nice Friday afternoon, a little cold here, but just got off work. Was busy beating my head against some problems that I didn't really feel like dealing with anymore, so signed off and hopped on over here to deal with some, I guess, problems that I consider a little bit more fun. So, I guess before we kind of get into anything new, I'll just give a little recap of what we did in last video and kind of where we are and what we're looking to do. So, yeah. Yep. So just to quickly recap kind of what we did last time. We put together a pump handler, a game handler, and then also made it so that when a user stepped on a new particle, they received a point. And all that you can go back and see in the old video, but kind of just to give you an idea of where we are, right? The pump is animating every time it touches the top, puts out a new particle, right? And when you open up the console, we can see that, right, whenever we pick up a ball, our player is getting a point. So that's kind of our baseline. And what we want to do now is kind of clean up the movement of this particle. As you can see, it's a bit jank as it comes out, and it doesn't really follow us as well as we would like. So we're going to clean that up and also hopefully get it displaying up here, just so that you kind of have a UI. So let's get into it. So first thing I want to fix is the particle movement. And I think it's helpful to first figure out what is wrong before hopping in and trying to fix it. So what I did is make the sphere of influence that we made last video a little transparent, or a little less transparent, so that we can see where it is. And obviously it's not where we want it to be, right? Otherwise, when these spawn in, the sphere of influence would be right on top of them. So we need to kind of figure out what's going wrong in the code and how we can move the sphere of influence onto the particle position. So my first suspicion is that we might have to move the union that we use to kind of describe the sphere of influence as well when we move the particle. And we can accomplish that by coming into the pump handler here, where we're cloning a new particle and then giving it a position. And we can access our sphere of influence by simply getting the union out. And this doesn't seem to have a primary part, so we'll just access position and set it to the same ball position. And what I'm hoping happens here is that they just get set at the same time in the same position, so the weld kind of keeps them there. But let's try this out and see if that actually works. Okay, not looking bad. Now it kind of just seems like the velocity maybe isn't enough, but let's see if they move towards me. Oh, okay, that was awesome. It looks like they moved very quickly, but that's okay. Yeah, so they're definitely coming towards me. I think it's just too fast for us to see, so that's something else we can clean up, but this is definitely a good start. Hey, so quick little blooper here. I accidentally made a cannon while I was trying to up the magnitude of that vector while they shoot out. But how I accomplished that, I just added a scalar here. Obviously, 20 is too much, so I will just go ahead and make this 5 maybe, and let's just see if that works. Okay, I like that. It could even be a bit less, but I think that's pretty fun. Cool. So next thing we're going to move into is actually getting these to chase me in a manner that isn't just like an instant TP to me. And that could also just be that the magnitude for their vector is too large, but let's check it out. So hopping into the particle handler here, I can see that we have our p hat, which was basically giving us the direction from the particle to our player, and that we have a magnitude here of 50. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that in half and see if that gives us a little bit of a better interaction. I also dropped this to 3, which I might like a little bit more. I might even drop it a bit more. I see that one almost escaped, but As you can see, these start to kind of roll towards me in a manner that yeah, I like that. It's pretty fun, honestly. I might even drop it a little more. It seems kind of instant, but I mean, they don't have to move that far, so it's whatever. Cool, so now that we have the particle movement cleaned up and we have the sphere of influence back to being hidden, we can go ahead and start moving into how to basically take the info that the server has and display it to our users. This is going to take me a little bit of research, so let's hop into it. So after doing a little research, there's something I want to talk about first before we get into all the logic of passing the data and actually rendering it on the screen. So after coming across this article here, I will link it in the description. Shout out Cheapio. Basically, he broke it down, and the starter GUIs and the screen GUIs are basically templates that you build once and then allow the client to update. So basically, if we wanted a more complex looking GUI, right, we would build it here in the screen GUI. Maybe we'd add more text labels, you know, um, we could even add other GUIs here, right? Maybe not even just the player data, could be a store GUI or something like that. And we would put all this in starter GUI and then allow our client to update and mess with it. So that's what I'll be getting into in the next part. So yeah, let's hop in. So first things first, I wanted to find an efficient way to let all players know that there is new data to be had. And after doing a little bit of research, it led me back to remote events and remote functions, right? And so what I had to do was go ahead and hop into replicated storage here and create a new remote event. And the reason that I chose replicated storage is because this event needs to be fired on the server side and consumed on the client side, right? So this score broadcast event is fired on the server side here in this call, right? Remember, handle slime ball touch, takes in a player, and then we update the player, you know, give them one more point. And then what we do is fire all clients this player data. And so the real heavy hitter here is the fire all clients. This function essentially takes in your message, in this case our player data, and lets all clients know that there is something to be consumed. And so on our client side, right, we have a local script running in the starter player script folder down here. And all this does is essentially, right, take our score broadcast on client event, right? That's just saying, you know, there was an event fired to the client that we can connect to. And we're going to connect and say, this is our handler, message received. And all I'm doing right now is printing the message. But if we comment out this giant wait for child kind of chain, we should be able to actually display the message. So that is what I'll do right now. Give it a test. I haven't actually tested this, so let's see if it works. It doesn't seem to have worked, so that's all right. We'll keep trying, but that is the idea. I think honestly the issue is this part right here. But yeah, I'll just kind of keep messing with it and see what's wrong. So I'll open up the console, right, just because I wanted to show you guys that the message was actually getting sent, and the answer is kind of slapping me right in the face. But first, just want to show you the message is being sent right here. But obviously, it is this unable to assign property text string expected got table, right? I'm giving it a table when it is expecting string. So we need to hop back into our local script here. I'm going to do something a little gross, but just to show you as like a proof of concept. Right, this is our table that has a key Steelers Tech with the points. So if I just kind of index into my name, I don't actually, it might give me a number. It might not give me a string. We'll see. Let's try it. Oh, wait, we got a 0. Okay, cool. Hey guys, sorry about that. Girlfriend came home. It's a little bit later now, but I still kind of want to grind this out. Last thing we were looking at is essentially we got player server data populating this player GUI over here on the left. We had it kind of nastily hard coded to my name. So the next thing I want to do is clean up not only the logic to populate the GUI, but also the GUI itself. So let's do that real quick and I will show you guys what that looks like. Alright, so back in game here, if you look at the top left, you will see the updated styling on the slime score tracker. And we accomplished that by coming into the screen GUI here, dropping a new score frame, messing around with some of these properties, messing around with some of the label properties. If you come down here, there's some text properties you can mess around with as well. Change the font if you'd like, Comic Sans, whatever, do what you gotta do. And then I added another one for the score. And if we hop into the local script code here, as you can see, instead of hard coding it to my name, now we can grab the local player, right? Since this is a client script, the local player dot name will always give us the name of whatever player is currently running the script. Grab that player data and then put it into the text of the score label that we had. And that was pretty much all to accomplish this. It was really just a little bit of styling. And other than that, it's not too much else I want to cover. Yeah. Yep, so nothing else I really want to cover in this video. It's kind of late. I want to go to bed. But two things that I kind of want to tease are just some enemy AI, hoping to get that going in another video or a future video. And then also how to clean up some of the lagginess when there are tons of these particles going on. Both of these problems I think will take me some time, and I'm hoping to reserve them for their own special videos, but I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I hope to see you guys there. So thanks for joining me, and have a good one.